All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to unpack the story behind just one single, really powerful photograph. And trust me, the story it tells is incredible. It's all about art, a forgotten science, and this huge clash of ideas happening in 19th century Paris.
And here it is. This is the photograph that's at the very heart of our story. What you're looking at is a portrait of the great Romantic painter Eugène Delacroix, taken way back in 1858 by the legendary photographer Nadar. I mean, wow. It's just an image of incredible intensity, isn't it? Just look at that gaze.
You know, today, this photo is considered an absolute masterpiece of early photography, which leads us to the central mystery, the big question we're trying to answer. Why on earth did Nadar, the guy who took it, who is a friend of Delacroix, why did he almost destroy it? Okay, to figure that out, we've got to understand the world this photo was born into. See, this wasn't just any old portrait. It was a document, really, created right at this cultural crossroads. And, well, it turned out to be a very problematic portrait.
So first up, let's meet our key players. The guy in the photo, that's Eugène Delacroix. He was the leader of the Romantic movement in French painting, a total rock star. And the man behind the camera was known simply as Nadar. He was this larger-than-life character who really believed photography could be a true art form. So yeah, we're talking about two absolute titans in their fields.
Right. So to get why this photo was so controversial, you have to picture the world it was created in, and let me tell you, it was a world of, well, fierce artistic battles.
Okay, so in the mid-1800s, French art was basically a war zone. You had two big opposing teams. On one side, you had Romanticism, which was all about raw emotion, wild colors, and intense drama. And on the other side, Neoclassicism, think the exact opposite. Order, reason, and the clean, perfect line.
And every war needs its generals, right? Well, here they are. On the left, you've got our guy, Delacroix, the face of Romanticism, and on the right, his arch-rival, Jean-Auguste-Dominique, the champion of the neoclassical style. And you can see it right in their portraits, can't you? You've got Delacroix's fiery, almost wild intensity versus Ingres's stern, buttoned-up, totally controlled vibe.
And this right here, this just perfectly shows their artistic differences. Look at how they each painted a female nude. Delacroix's odalisque on the left, it's a storm of passionate color, flowing fabric, and pure emotion. Then you look at Ingres's bather on the right. It's so cool, so perfect. The lines are almost mathematical. It really boils down to this: color versus line, emotion versus reason.
And look, this wasn't some stuffy academic debate happening behind closed doors. Oh no, this was a public feud. This cartoon from the time actually shows them jousting on horseback right in front of the Art Institute. Ingres is even carrying a shield that says, "Long live the line." I mean, come on, it was a full-blown culture war.
Okay, so into the middle of this artistic battlefield, a brand new disruptive technology shows up. And that technology? Photography.
And photography's greatest champion was our guy, Nadar. This man was so much more than a technician. He was an artist, a writer, a famous hot air balloonist. I mean, a true Renaissance man of Paris. For him, the camera wasn't just about recording what someone looked like. He believed it could actually capture their soul.
And get this, the worlds of painting and photography were already crashing into each other. This nude study you see here from 1854, it was commissioned by, you guessed it, Delacroix himself. So he was already using this newfangled technology as a tool for his own work.
And here is the smoking gun. This is the painting Delacroix made just a few years later. The pose, the lighting, it's so obviously based on that photograph. So you see, the camera wasn't some kind of threat to art. For an artist like Delacroix, it was like a brand new kind of sketchbook.
Okay, so wait a minute. If Delacroix was using photography, what on earth was the problem with Nadar's portrait of him? Well, the answer is wild. It lies in this bizarre, now-forgotten science that people in the 19th century were obsessed with, and it totally changed how they looked at a person's face.
It was called physiognomy, and the basic idea is kind of nuts. They believed your inner character, everything from your intelligence and morality to whether you were a criminal, was literally written on your face and in the shape of your skull. So a person's face wasn't just a face. It was seen as a roadmap to their soul.
And you have to understand, they took this stuff very seriously. This wasn't some party game. It was treated as a legitimate science, with super complicated diagrams like this one, mapping out every single human trait
You know, from love of family to wisdom onto specific bumps on your head.
And it could get really, really weird. These physiognomists would actually compare human faces to animals to figure out someone's character. So if you had noble features like an eagle, that was great. But if your face resembled, I don't know, a sheep, well, that was not so good.
Okay, so an art war, a new technology, and a crazy pseudoscience about faces. How does this all come together to finally solve the mystery of Nadar's portrait?
Let's go back to the portrait, but this time, I want you to look at it through the eyes of someone from that era, someone who totally bought into this whole physiognomy thing.
Okay, here's the absolute key. While we look at this and see strength, power, genius, they saw something else entirely. That strong jawline, those intense, almost animal-like eyes, that wild hair. To them, following the rules of physiognomy, these were not the features of a refined, respectable genius. No, they pointed to something brutish, something passionate, something dangerously untamed.
And that's why Nadar almost destroyed it. He was worried that this brutally honest portrait would completely wreck his friend's reputation, that it would feed right into the era's worst prejudices about him. But he kept it. Why? Because at the end of the day, Nadar was an artist, not some crackpot pseudoscientist. He knew the photo told a deeper truth. It had captured the absolute essence of what it meant to be a romantic genius, passionate, fierce, and totally untamable.
You see, Nadar's whole philosophy was crystal clear. He didn't care about making a pretty, flattering picture. He wanted to capture a reflection of the person's true inner self, their unique spirit. And with a guy like Delacroix, well, that spirit was a storm.
And all of that leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? This single photograph, caught right in the middle of an art rivalry and a truly bizarre theory about faces, it asks a question that we're still wrestling with today. What does a true portrait really capture? Is it the perfect face we present to the world, or is it the wild, messy, passionate spirit that's hiding just behind it?